name is David Williams. I'm the president of Mojo Innovations Limited, Global Digital MOJO in Hong Kong, and of Global Digital MOJO Kabushiki Kaisa in Osaka, Japan. As an international company in Japan, with headquarters in Hong Kong, we decided very early on that we were going to have a special position in Japan. We weren't going to try and compete with local domestic companies. We were going to position ourselves as an international company, which is a bridge between Japan and Hong Kong and the rest of the world. Once we positioned ourselves in that way, we got a lot of interest from our international clients, both existing and new clients, who couldn't find a convenient way to enter the Japanese market. They found it very hard to find partners, particularly in the digital area, who had an international mind, who spoke their language, whether it was English, or Spanish, or French, and who were familiar with international ways of doing business. So we started to get a lot of interest in working with such inbound customers, and it was really that encouraged us to open a branch in Osaka to have a stable base to receive those kinds of customers. A recent development we've had of our business in Japan is to join in with Japan's national research programs. Now these are run by the Japanese Science and Technology Agency, or JST. These programs are looking at Japanese society over the next 20 years, and they focus on digital technologies such as IoT, AI, and smart city technologies, and how they can rejuvenate Japanese society, and also offer examples to international partners about how these digital societies can function and develop. And last year, our company in Japan became a qualified research company, which is now able to participate in these research projects and bring our international experience to bear on the Japanese market. So that's a very exciting news for us. The challenge I hear from our international clients and our customers in Hong Kong when they talk about the Japanese market is always to find a point of entry in Japan. Somebody who can think in an international way, and somebody who is flexible to the different business cultures in different countries. For Japanese companies who are going out of Japan, whether they're coming to Hong Kong, to Taiwan, or to Europe or the US, they normally will look for Japanese partners. They will try to fit into a Japanese ecosystem. In our early work with Japanese companies since 2009, we were doing a lot of work in Shanghai, in mainland China. And here there is a very large ecosystem of Japanese companies who work together, socialize together, supply each other. This is very convenient for Japanese companies who are going overseas, but it can lead to restrictive thinking. And it may be difficult for Japanese companies who are within these ecosystems to really understand the local market and to really find new business ventures, new consumer markets, and really to understand what's going on outside of the Japanese ecosystem. So when we talk to Japanese companies, we provide that expertise. When people think of Japan, they imagine industry dominated by very large companies, Mitsubishi, Sony, companies with businesses across many different markets. When we entered Japan from Hong Kong, we were a small company, and so we were very aware of this ecosystem in Japan. However, an interesting thing is happening in the past 3 years. The Japanese economy is changing. A lot of it is being driven by digital technologies, and the barriers to entry, to reach many companies have really lowered. So we're starting to see the growth of startup ecosystems in Japan, particularly focused on the internet services and digital technologies. And now the Japanese government, through organizations like the Japan Science and Technology Agency, are supporting startups, providing incubation platforms and funding, and also encouraging international companies to come into Japan. So this trend has been very good for us. It's allowed us also as a new entry into Japan to develop projects that encourage these kinds of startup incubators. And one of our key partners in Japan is the Keihana Science City in Kyoto Prefecture and the Advanced Telecommunications Research Institute in Keihana. And together we have developed a startup platform called KGAP, which is the Keihana Global Acceleration Program. We began that in 2019. And since then, we've welcomed over 50 companies into the acceleration program from Japan and from overseas, and helped them to develop proof of concept. So this is a really good example of how a new kind of business ecosystem is developing in Japan. The COVID pandemic has had an immense effect on the Japanese economy, just like everywhere else in the world. When we talk about economic effect, Japan is an export economy. So as the world's requirements for Japanese products have gone down, so the Japanese economy has gone down. Recently, in fact, results just published in July 2021 show that there is a rebound in the economic activity from Japan, particularly in exports, thanks to the opening up, particularly of the US. So from an economic point of view, hopefully we're seeing turning the corner now. From a digital services point of view, the pandemic has accelerated trends which were already happening in Japan, such as using digital channels to work, to interact with products and services. So for Mojo, being specialized in digital transformation, this has been a very interesting time for us. We've been able to have conversations with Japanese and overseas customers which are focused on digital business and digital ways of transforming traditional businesses. So for us, it's really an opportunity to help Japanese companies to transition from traditional business models into digital business models. When companies are coming into Japan from Hong Kong, I think the first advice I will give is, in your business area, focus on digital related services, because this is a growing industry in Japan. The secondly is to find very good partners with an international mind who can help you to understand Japanese business culture, but also can understand your business culture. And we'll be very happy to hear from Hong Kong companies who have the goal to enter the Japanese market. They're welcome to contact with us.